Get ready to discover the charming Isle of Wight with us. In this episode, we're taking you on a journey through some of the island's most iconic spots. We'll be hitting up highlights like the bustling town of Ryde, exploring the picturesque Shanklin, marveling at the dramatic Needles, soaking in freshwater's serene beauty, and driving along the famous military road. We'll also hop aboard the historic Isle of Wight Steam Railway, stroll through the maritime hubs of Cowes and East Cowes, experience the vibrant coastal charm of Ventnor, and uncover the quaint villages of Godshill and Sandown, plus a unique culinary stop at the famous garlic farm. Come with us to the Isle of Wight, a beautiful diamond-shaped island nestled just off England's south coast, right across the Solent. Nestled off England's south coast, the Isle of Wight charms with sandy beaches, scenic trails, and a relaxed, picturesque atmosphere just a short ferry ride away. Getting there from London is super straightforward. You simply catch a train from Waterloo to nearby South Coast Port, which usually takes around an hour and a half, and then it's just a short, scenic ferry ride across the water. Ferries to the Isle of Wight are run by Wightlink, Red Funnel, and Hover Travel. Wightlink offers car and foot passenger routes from Portsmouth to Fishbourne, 45 minutes, and Lymington to Yarmouth, 40 minutes, plus a high-speed fast cat from Portsmouth Harbour to Ryde, 22 minutes. Red Funnel runs a car ferry from Southampton to East Cowes, 60 minutes, and a fast passenger Red Jet to West Cowes, 28 minutes. Hover Travel operates the quickest service, a hovercraft from Southsea to Ryde in under 10 minutes. Our journey kicked off from Cambridge, which meant an early start and a train ride down to Portsmouth Harbour. Once we arrived at Portsmouth, the air instantly felt different, a bit saltier, a bit breezier, and full of that excited pre-island vibe. From there, it was a seamless transition to the ferry terminal. Stepping onto the ferry to Ryde felt like the official start of our island adventure. The crossing itself was incredibly scenic. Watching the mainland disappear behind us and the Isle of Wight gradually emerge on the horizon was a real treat. And before we knew it, we were pulling into Ryde, ready to explore our first island stop. Our journey begins in Ryde, with its long sandy beach and charming seafront promenade. From there, we head to Newport, the island's historic county town, before making our way to Shanklin, known for its beautiful bay and the picturesque Shanklin chine. Next, we visit the world-famous Needles and the stunning freshwater bay, followed by a scenic drive along the breathtaking military road, offering panoramic coastal views. We'll step back in time with a ride on the Isle of Wight Steam Railway, then explore the twin towns of Cowes and East Cowes, famous for sailing heritage and royal history. Our route continues to Ventnor, a Victorian seaside resort nestled on the island's southern coast, and the quaint village of Godshill, with its thatched cottages and medieval church. We'll relax on the beaches of Sandown, savor local produce at the garlic farm, and wrap up our trip back in Newport and Fishbourne. It's no surprise that the Isle of Wight's breathtaking landscapes have drawn the attention of filmmakers over the years. With its dramatic cliffs, golden beaches, and historic estates, the island has served as the backdrop for several notable productions. Osborne House, Queen Victoria's beloved residence, has starred in multiple films, most memorably in Victoria and Abdul, 2017, where Judi Dench brought the monarch's later years to life in the very setting they occurred, and earlier in Mrs. Brown, 1997. The island also found its way onto the big screen in the 1970s rock and roll drama That'll Be the Day, which used its lively holiday camps as a central filming location. This little island is absolutely steeped in history, stretching back millions of years to a time when dinosaurs roamed its shores. It's also been a significant naval base, a favorite Victorian royal retreat, especially for Queen Victoria at Osborne House, and a hotspot for smuggling in days gone by. Every corner here feels like it has a story to tell, offering a really rich and diverse tapestry of tales. Stepping off the ferry in Ryde, we were instantly met by the sight of its vibrant Victorian pier, one of the oldest and longest in the UK. As the Isle of Wight's largest town, Ryde boasts sweeping sandy beaches, elegant Victorian architecture, and a lively promenade perfect for seaside strolls. Its warm, welcoming atmosphere captures the essence of a classic British seaside town. One of our first and most memorable experiences was boarding the Island Line train from the pier's end. The Island Line on the Isle of Wight traces its origins to the Ryde and Newport Railway and the Isle of Wight Railway, with the section between Ryde Pier Head and Shanklin opening in 1864. The Island Line is a scenic railway on the Isle of Wight, running from Ryde Pier Head to Shanklin, famous for using refurbished old London Underground trains. Starting at the end of Ryde's Victorian Pier, it offers coastal and countryside views, with stops including Smallbrook Junction for the Isle of Wight Steam Railway, Breathtaking, and Sandown, making it both a quirky experience and a practical way to explore the island's east coast. History enthusiasts can delve into the past at the Ryde District Heritage Centre. Quar Abbey, just outside Ryde on the Isle of Wight, is a working Benedictine monastery known for its striking red brick architecture and peaceful setting. Founded in the early 20th century on the site of a medieval abbey, it welcomes visitors to explore its serene gardens, woodland walks, art gallery, and farm. The tea room serves homemade treats and local produce, making it a perfect spot for quiet reflection or a gentle afternoon visit. For a bit of history, you can visit the Apley Tower, a charming landmark at the eastern end of the beach. And of course, just relaxing on the sandy shores is always an option. Ryde truly makes for a lovely introduction to the Isle of Wight. With its charm, attractions, and excellent rail connections, Ryde makes an ideal starting point for exploring the island's eastern coast. After soaking up a bit of Ryde's atmosphere, our next mission was to get our wheels for the rest of the trip. We headed over to Newport, the island's capital, where we picked up our rental car from Enterprise. Having a car made exploring the rest of the island so much easier and gave us the freedom to discover hidden gems. Carisbrooke Castle near Newport is a historic fortress best known for imprisoning King Charles I before his execution in 1649. Visitors can walk its walls, climb the Norman Keep, explore the museum and gardens, and watch the donkeys demonstrate how the historic well house wheel was once used. Next, we headed south to Shanklin, a postcard-perfect village where we had booked our stay. It's easy to see why this charming spot is so beloved. Its blend of seaside beauty and historic character is irresistible. Our first stop was the famous Shanklin Old Village, a place that feels frozen in time with its thatched cottages, quaint tea rooms, and cozy pubs. Wandering the narrow lanes, we admired the architecture and soaked up the tranquil atmosphere. Just a short walk away lies Shanklin Chine, a lush gorge where waterfalls tumble through a canopy of greenery down to the beach. By day it's enchanting, and by night the illuminations add a magical glow. The winding path to the shore reveals breathtaking views at every turn. For dinner, we chose Fisherman's Cottage, an iconic beachside pub at the foot of the chine. With the sound of waves in the background, a warm, rustic interior, and freshly prepared seafood, it was a meal and a setting we'll never forget. The next morning, we enjoyed a hearty breakfast at our stay, the perfect fuel to set us up for the day's adventures. Our second day on the island was all about dramatic landscapes, and it did not disappoint. We made our way to the far western tip to see one of the Isle of Wight's most iconic sights, the Needles. Even from a distance, the anticipation builds, and then they appear. 3 striking chalk stacks rising from the sea, crowned by a lone lighthouse at the end. It's a breathtaking scene. We also explored the Old Battery and New Battery, historic clifftop fortifications that combine fascinating military history with some of the most spectacular views on the island. It's the kind of place that demands both your camera and your full attention, leaving you in awe of nature's beauty and power. If you have time, consider visiting Yarmouth on the Isle of Wight's northwest coast, a charming harbor town with coastal walks and a bustling marina. Don't miss Yarmouth Castle, a 16th century fort built by Henry VIII, featuring interactive displays and beautiful Solent views. Our next stop was Freshwater Bay, nestled along this magnificent coastline. It's another beautiful spot, known for its shingle beach, iconic arch-shaped rock formation, and stunning chalk cliffs. The bay itself is picturesque, with clear waters and a peaceful atmosphere. St. Agnes's Church in Freshwater Bay, Isle of Wight, is a charming early 20th century church and the island's only thatched church. Still an active place of worship, built in 1908 with local stone, it has a simple yet picturesque design that blends beautifully with its coastal surroundings. For lunch, we had been recommended the Hut restaurant in Freshwater, and it did not disappoint. Perched right on the beach, it offers an incredible alfresco dining experience with spectacular sea views. The atmosphere is vibrant and relaxed, and the focus is on fresh, delicious seafood. We indulged in some of the freshest catches of the day, enjoyed with the sound of the waves lapping against the shore and the warm sun on our faces. It was the perfect midday break, a truly idyllic setting that perfectly complemented the natural beauty we had been exploring all morning. Eating such fantastic food with such a view made it one of the most memorable meals of our trip. Our journey continued along the renowned Military Road, a coastal stretch that lives up to its reputation for stunning, panoramic views. This road hugs the coastline, offering uninterrupted vistas of the English Channel, the dramatic cliffs, and the rolling green landscape. It's a drive where you constantly want to pull over just to take in the scenery. Every bend reveals another breathtaking tableau, and the sheer scale of the landscape is awe-inspiring. It truly feels like you're on the edge of the world, with nothing but open ocean stretching out before you. The Dinosaur Expedition Center in Bristone, near Newport, showcases life-size models, real fossils, and interactive exhibits, with guided beach hunts to spot dinosaur footprints, making it a fun, educational stop in the Isle of Wight, the dinosaur capital of the UK. Our third day on the Isle of Wight promised a delightful mix of heritage and charming coastal towns. We kicked things off with a step back in time, boarding the Isle of Wight Steam Railway.
First class.
Okay.
You can travel all day with those.
Oh, great.
There's only the one train running up and down today,
Mm-hmm.
which is on this blue timetable.
Okay.
So the train will come in at 11:33 and go out at 11:40.
Okay.
Okay? Now that will take you, well, I say you can travel all day as much as you like.
Okay.
We are, and you can travel first class all day.
Okay.
We're here at Wootton, the western end of the line. That takes you to Haven Street, our main station.
Okay.
If you stay on that train, then it will take you down to Smallbrook and bring you back to Haven Street at approximately 12:33.
Okay.
So Haven Street's the main station. Everything's close by. There's a restaurant, shop, museum off the shop, cafe, and there's a very large museum called Train Story, which is a couple of minutes walk.
Okay.
So don't miss that as well.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly nostalgic experience, like something out of a classic film. The beautifully preserved steam locomotives and vintage carriages take you on a leisurely journey through picturesque countryside. You hear the rhythmic chuffing of the engine and the whistle blowing, and you can almost imagine life a century ago. Passengers ride in lovingly restored Victorian and Edwardian carriages, including both first-class compartments with plush upholstery and polished wood finishes, and third-class compartments with simpler wooden seating, each offering an authentic taste of historic railway travel through the island's scenic countryside. The Isle of Wight Steam Railway runs between Smallbrook Junction and Wootton, with its main station at Haven Street, and the full return journey takes about 50 minutes. At Haven Street, there's a museum, workshop, and regular events that bring the golden age of steam to life, making it a memorable blend of history, engineering, and scenic charm. The Isle of Wight Steam Railway began as part of the Ryde and Newport Railway in 1875, but closed in 1966 during the beaching cuts. Saved by enthusiasts, it reopened as a heritage line in 1971 and now runs between Smallbrook Junction and Wootton via Haven Street. It's not just a ride, it's an immersive trip through history, offering fantastic views of the island's rural heartland. We loved looking out at the fields and woodlands, waving at people as we passed by. After our journey into the past, we headed north to explore the maritime towns of Cowes and East Cowes. These towns are famous for their strong connection to yachting and sailing, especially with the world-renowned Cowes Week Regatta. Cowes itself is bustling with boutique shops, charming cafes, and a vibrant waterfront. We enjoyed strolling along the high street, soaking in the nautical atmosphere and watching the boats come and go from the marinas. The Chine Ferry, also known locally as the Cowes Floating Bridge, is a short but iconic crossing that links West Cowes and East Cowes on the Isle of Wight across the River Medina. Operated by two large chains running along the riverbed, the ferry pulls itself back and forth in just a few minutes, carrying both vehicles and foot passengers. You can also visit Osborne House, Queen Victoria's former seaside residence, which is just across the water in East Cowes.
Building. The house is through these doors, down to the bottom, turn left and follow the way up. So you've got the main house here, the walled garden, which is lovely, I do recommend it. The terrace gardens, there's the Swiss cottage, that's the chalet Prince Albert built for the royal children. On foot from here, it's about 25 minutes, and then it's a further 10 minutes to the private beach where you can get an ice cream.
Osborne House, located in East Cowes on the Isle of Wight, was the beloved seaside retreat of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. Built in the 1840s in the Italianate style, it reflects Prince Albert's vision and design influence, with elegant terraces, ornate interiors, and expansive gardens. Visitors can explore lavish staterooms, the family's private apartments, and the Swiss cottage where the royal children learned practical skills. The estate also features beautiful formal gardens, woodland walks, and a private beach with Queen Victoria's bathing machine. Today, it's managed by English Heritage and offers a fascinating glimpse into royal family life, combining history, architecture, and stunning coastal views. From the northern reaches, we then headed south, traversing the island to reach the charming Victorian resort town of Ventnor. Ventnor has a really unique feel, built into a steep hillside with a microclimate that allows for surprising subtropical plants to flourish. It has a beautiful sheltered bay and a lovely promenade. We spent some time exploring the cascading terraces and winding streets, admiring the Victorian architecture and the stunning sea views. There's a beautiful botanic garden here too, which really showcases the unique climate. The atmosphere in Ventnor is wonderfully relaxed, a perfect blend of old-world charm and seaside tranquility. Near Ventnor, the Isle of Wight Donkey Sanctuary cares for rescued donkeys, mules, and Shetland ponies. Nearby, Appledurcombe House, an 18th century Baroque mansion ruin, offers impressive architecture and scenic views, making them a perfect pair for a day out. As evening descended, we made our way to Smoking Lobster for dinner, a highly recommended spot in Ventnor. It's known for its incredible seafood, and it certainly lived up to the hype. The restaurant has a lovely, inviting ambiance, and the focus is on fresh, locally sourced ingredients prepared with creativity. We indulged in some absolutely delicious dishes and Japanese sake. Eating such high-quality food in such a charming setting, with the sounds of the town gently drifting in, was a fantastic way to end our busy third day of exploration. It was a true culinary highlight of our trip. Day 4 unfolded as a delightful exploration of the Isle of Wight's quaint charm and unique flavors. We started our morning in Godshill, a village that truly lives up to its picturesque reputation. It feels like stepping into a postcard, with its thatched cottages, traditional tea rooms, and the ancient All Saints' Church perched high on a hill overlooking everything. We spent some time simply wandering the charming streets, soaking in the quintessential English village atmosphere. A definite highlight in Godshill was visiting its famous model village. It's incredibly intricate and detailed, a miniature version of Godshill and Shanklin Old Village, complete with tiny people, cars, and even miniature trains. You can really appreciate the craftsmanship that went into creating it, and it's quite a delightful experience, full of quirky details that make you smile. After our visit, we enjoyed a leisurely walk, browsing the small independent shops selling local crafts and produce. It's a place that invites you to slow down and savor the moment. From Godshill, our journey took us to the eastern coast, to the popular seaside town of Sandown. Sandown boasts one of the island's best sandy beaches, a long stretch of golden sand perfect for a relaxing stroll. The pier offers classic seaside amusements, and there are plenty of cafes and shops along the esplanade. We enjoyed the fresh sea air and the sound of the waves, taking a leisurely walk along the shoreline. It's a great spot if you're looking for a traditional beach day, with plenty of space to relax or even build a sandcastle. The Wild Heart Animal Sanctuary, located in Sandown on the Isle of Wight, is a rescue-focused wildlife park dedicated to giving animals a safe and caring home. Originally known as the Isle of Wight Zoo, it transitioned into a sanctuary to prioritize animal welfare over traditional zoo practices. Then we ventured to a truly unique spot, the Isle of Wight Garlic Farm in Sandown. As you might guess, it's entirely dedicated to garlic, and it's a fascinating place. They grow over 50 varieties of garlic here, and the farm shop is a treasure trove of garlic-infused products, from garlic bread and chutneys to even garlic beer and ice cream. Yes, you heard that right. We explored the farm, learned about the different varieties and cultivation process, and of course, indulged in some taste testing. It's an incredibly interesting and surprisingly delicious experience, showcasing the versatility of this humble bulb. It was a perfect end to a day filled with delightful discoveries, from historic villages to sandy shores and unexpected culinary delights. The Isle of Wight Festival in June is a legendary music event in Newport, famed for its 1970 lineup with Jimi Hendrix and The Who, and today draws top global acts. The island also hosts vibrant carnivals, including Ryde Carnival, England's oldest, featuring colorful floats, costumes, and summer night processions. Our incredible Isle of Wight adventure was drawing to a close on day 5. It always feels bittersweet leaving such a beautiful place. But we had one last scenic journey ahead. Our first task of the morning was to return our trusty rental car to Enterprise in Newport. With the car returned, we made our way to Fishbourne, one of the main ferry ports on the island. The ferry ride back to Portsmouth was just as lovely as the one coming over. Gliding across the Solent, we had one last chance to admire the island's green shores receding into the distance, reflecting on all the amazing memories we'd made. It was a perfect, peaceful end to an unforgettable trip, bringing us back to the mainland feeling refreshed and full of stories. In the upcoming releases, I'll share videos on each place we visited, including the ferry journey, details of our stay, and highlights of their history, character, and experiences. From stunning landscapes and quaint villages to hidden gems and local flavors, each video will showcase what makes these spots special and inspire your own travels. And that brings our fantastic Isle of Wight journey to an end. Thanks for joining us on this adventure, from the iconic needles to the charming villages and delicious food. We loved sharing every moment with you. If you enjoyed hearing about our island escapade, please make sure to like this episode. Leave a comment with your favorite part and subscribe to our channel for more travel stories.